Hello everyone. In this video, we'll talk about introductions and conclusions and different effective ways to create your introduction and conclusion. We'll be talking about introduction and conclusion as we talk about an outline. If you go to your D2L shell and it's somewhere in your week 6 or maybe it's a mission 6, if you scroll down and find hyperlink, which is fill in the blank outline, click on it and download it on your desktop. Once you open it, it will look like this. This is the outline that we'll be working with all this semester for your graded speeches. It has introduction, body, and conclusion, 3 parts of the speech. If you look at the introduction, it has attention getter, then we have purpose statement, topic significance, topic credibility, and preview of main points. Attention getter is always the first part of introduction. Preview of main points is always the last part of introduction. Topic credibility, significance, and purpose statement can vary, can swap places. Purpose statement can go right after attention getter, as in this example. It can go between topic significance and topic credibility, or it can go right before preview of main points. That's introduction. And then we have conclusion. We have summary of main points. If you have 3 main points, you list 3 points here. If you have 2, you have 2, and 4, or maybe sometimes you have 5. So here come your main points, then reference back to the introduction. Sometimes I talk about it as reference back to attention getter. And then you want to finish with strong, memorable concluding statement. Let's connect the dots right now and let's put this theory into practice. We will watch the beginning and end of the speech by Simon Lancaster, How to Start a Speech. And as we're watching it, we'll try to fill out our outline, fill in the blank. Now, not every speech will follow this structure, but we'll try to do our best.
Who wants to get high? Yeah? You up for some? Shall we really get this party started, shall we? You in the mood? Excellent, I've got tons. You're up for it and there's loads there. Look at this. I've got cocaine, ecstasy, speed, yeah? But mine are all fair trade organic and 100% legal. Ted approves. I checked, so don't worry.
Okay, that was his attention getter. Let's see what he did and let's see how we put it into our outline. So first, Lancaster was shaking bottles. In our outline, we write shaking bottles, and that was an activity to get audience attention. Next, he asked a question. Do you remember the question? Who wants to get high? It was a question. It didn't ask for an answer, but it did ask audience to think. And then he had something else. He talked about fair trade, organic, Ted approved drugs, which was a joke. Okay, so those were 3 parts of his attention getter. Yours might be different. You might just ask 2 questions Raise your hand if you agree. Raise your hand if you have this experience. Yours might be a story, or it might be a joke. It may be some facts or statistics. Next, listen to his purpose statement.
Today, I'm going to talk about how to start a speech.
That was it. Today, I'm going to talk about how to start your speech. Okay? Remember, purpose statement is your concise, clear statement about what you want to accomplish in the speech. It's your thesis statement. We don't want any metaphors or colorful language that could be confusing. It needs to be simple and concise. Let's listen next, and we'll see how smoothly he transitions from topic significance to topic credibility.
And that is how every speaker should start their speech, by getting the audience high. Because let's face it, when most speeches start, delighted to be here, our head droops, our heart sinks, oh, for God's sake. Studies of
Lancaster talks here about importance to start your speech in an engaging way. And he also states that most speeches do start boring. Remember that topic significance answered the question, how does it affect me? And he answered that question by saying, you should listen because most speeches do start boring and it is important to start your speech in an engaging way. So he does address the question here in his topic significance. Now, he talks next about some research. Let's listen what he says to boost his credibility.
Students at universities show their brain activity levels during lectures are actually lower than they are when they're asleep. Actually lower, not the same as, or a bit higher, actually lower. And no speaker wants that. We want our speakers high, not low, right from the get-go. And we want to lift their heart right from the start. So today
Okay, so for topic credibility, he talks about students' brain activity. And he mentions that it's lower during lecture than sleep. You can add something else here, but I felt that that was the most important takeaway from his topic credibility. And pay attention that he didn't mention any studies, no names, no article names, no dates, no journal titles, just mentioning studies show that. And you will have a place and time to do it later in your speech to mention your sources. And let's listen to how he previews his points.
I'm going to set out 3 ways that you can not low, right from the get-go. And we want to lift their heart right from the start. So today I am going to set out 3 ways that you can start your speech.
Very simple. Today I'm going to set out 3 ways that you can start your speech. Okay, so that's his preview. Guys, for you, I do recommend to be a little bit more specific. 3 ways to set out your speech is not specific enough. He'll go later in the speech and he'll talk about jokes, stories, and questions as the ways to get your audience attention. So maybe mention in the preview, today I'm going to talk about telling jokes, stories, and asking questions as 3 different ways to start your speech. And now let's move to the end. Here's our conclusion, and let's see what Lancaster has for us at the end. It starts somewhere here, very close.
Feelings. And that's what all of this is about.
He says, and that's what all of this is about, as a good way to transition from the body of the speech into conclusion, very smoothly and very naturally. Now, let's listen to the summary of his main points.
Questions, stories, jokes.
Questions, stories, jokes. Those are three main points he spoke about in the speech. Now let's listen what he does to reference back to the introduction.
They create feelings. As Maya Angelou wrote, people will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they will never, ever forget how you made them feel.
Okay, so that was a quote from Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Let's see what else he does in this part of conclusion.
And this guy, he made us feel amazing. We felt connected. We felt as one. And this is what great speakers do. And it's how they create followers, and it's how they build movements with the promise of feelings, making us feel joyful, making us feel proud, making us feel connected, making us feel like we belong, making us feel part of something bigger than ourselves. That's what keeps us coming back, and that's what gets us addicted, because we are always craving more, and great leaders always keep us wanting more.
Okay, so he spoke quite a bit here. He went a little bit more general. He talked about how great leaders create connections between people using different emotions. And he also talked about human cravings for feeling good. Okay. And let's see what happens at the end.
Which takes me to my final point. How do you end a speech? Well, there's only one way to do that.
He walks away, which I do not personally think would be the most memorable way to finish your speech. We want to finish with a strong concluding statement, something that your audience will remember. And I do feel that the quote from the Maya Angelou, people will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. I do think that that quote would have its place as a concluding statement, as a very good and powerful concluding statement. So that was briefly about introductions and conclusions with example and illustration. Hope you found it helpful and hope to see how you'll use it in your speeches. Take care. Bye.